This video tutorial will give a short insight into the IMPEx environment. For that purpose, Venus Express magnetic field data will be compared with the FMI hybrid simulation data. Used tools will be the IMPEx Portal, AMDA and 3DView. As a first step, we will go to the IMPEx Portal. The portal can be found at impex-portal.oeaw.ac.at. To perform this example, we will use the FMI Hybrid Simulations database and the FMI Hybrid Data Access Service. For comparison with observational data and for further visualization, the data will then be further processed in the IMPEx tools AMDA and 3DView. By clicking on the FMI Hybrid Simulation database, a pop-up window will appear listing all available FMI hybrid simulations. Clicking on the available simulation model will open a list of 27 simulation runs. Mouse over a simulation run will give further details. For further processing, we will choose the fourth run, which is simulating the Venus environment. By clicking on the simulation run, 3 numerical outputs will appear, containing data on the H+, O+, and magnetic field environment of Venus. We will choose the numerical output for the magnetic field environment. As you can see, further information on the run will appear, containing details on, for example, simulated region, the parameters of the numerical output, or on the resource ID of the run. By selecting the numerical output, this can be further processed in the Data Access Service of FMI, as well as in the My Data area of the portal. For further processing, we will now open the Data Access, where we will find available IMPEx methods to manipulate the numerical output. Get Data Point Value Spacecraft will interpolate the numerical output on a given spacecraft trajectory around Venus. As you can see, the numerical output which was selected is already available in the Data Access area. Applying the output will automatically deliver the resource ID to the method. We can now select Venus Express as spacecraft name, as well as start and stop time of the interpolation. Please be aware that the longer the time frame, the longer the method will need to interpolate the simulation onto the spacecraft trajectory. Afterwards, we can click on Request Data and will retrieve the simulated magnetic field data interpolated onto the trajectory of Venus Express. While the method is interpolating the simulation, we can already initiate a web hub by clicking on Init XAMPP and Download XAMPP Hub. The hub will be needed to send data directly to AMDA. After downloading and initiating the hub via the portal, one also has to start the hub in AMDA itself. For that purpose, we are opening AMDA via the portal. Now we can connect AMDA to the hub by clicking on this symbol on the bottom right. Now we have to go back to the IMPEx portal, where we also can connect the portal to the same hub by clicking on Register. As you can see, the portal is now connected to AMDA. By going back to FMI Hybrid Data Access, we can now delegate the service results to AMDA. The second step will now be to compare the simulation of the magnetic field in AMDA with observational data of Venus Express. Since we have already sent the service result to AMDA, a pop-up window has appeared in which we will now have to define the parameters. For this example, we will simply choose the total value of the magnetic field define the parameter name and save it to the personal workspace. Now we are opening the Plot Manager. Within the Workspace Explorer, we select the AMDA database and can now choose observational data by Venus Express. Simply drag and drop the parameter for the total value of the magnetic field as measured by Venus Express into the Plot Manager window. Now we can change the parameter arguments if needed. We will do so and change the plot color to green. At the bottom of the Workspace Explorer, we will find our self-defined parameter for the simulated magnetic field. For comparison, we will now drag and drop this parameter into the same panel of the Plot Manager. As a next step, we now have to define the start and stop time for our plot. This should be the same time region as we already have chosen for the interpolation. By clicking on Plot, we will now retrieve a plot window in which both data, simulation and observation, will be plotted on top of each other. We are now heading back to the portal, where we can directly open the 3D visualization tool 3DView. Clicking on 3DView will open the website of the tool, where we can download and open the Java application. The third step of our tutorial is now dealing with the visualization of the simulated and observational data in 3DView. As you can see, we have now already chosen Venus Express during the relevant time frame. Its orbit around Venus is visualized for a whole day in April 2008. One can change the viewing angle as well as the distance to Venus. By clicking on VO and IMPEx, the IMPEx tree will be loaded. From this, we will now choose the same observational data of Venus Express from the AMDA tree. As you can see, due to the selected scene, only Venus Express data will appear in the tree. After selection, the tree will directly be plotted onto the trajectory of Venus Express. By clicking on 2D Plot, we can furthermore also retrieve a simple graph of the observed magnetic field data for the whole day. As a next step, we can now include the simulation data from the tree of FMI into the scene. This will also be plotted on the trajectory of Venus Express. The 2D plot is only available for a region within 4 Venus radii, since the hybrid simulation is only performed within this region. As you can see, the simulation and observation can now simply be compared visually directly on the trajectory of Venus Express. Thank you for watching this video.